Russia have sent their specialized unit commandos, 50 of them. These are the bodyguard, these are the security and the military that usually guard Putin. What is really happening in Burkina Faso? The deal between Russia and Burkina Faso is getting hard and hard, and everyone is happy. I'm going to tell you the reason why Putin has decided to send another 50 commandos to go and protect Ibrahim Traoré. That is what has just happened today.
In the heart of West Africa, a storm is brewing, not of nature, but of geopolitics, betrayal, and retribution. The dust had barely settled after a brutal terrorist attack that claimed dozens of lives in Burkina Faso, when the world witnessed a move that stunned Western powers and delighted those longing for African sovereignty. Russian boots are now on Burkinabe soil. Elite commandos sent with one mission: to protect Captain Ibrahim Traoré at all costs. But this isn't just about security. This is about global realignment, military independence, and the rise of a new alliance that could reshape Africa's future. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear is the story the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. Northern Burkina Faso was rocked by one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in recent history. Over 200 Burkinabe soldiers were ambushed and killed by insurgents believed to be affiliated with extremist networks spilling over from the Sahel region. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who had just announced a nationwide offensive to reclaim security, stood before his people, visibly shaken but defiant. "We will not be intimidated. We will not kneel," he declared. But behind closed doors, the government knew this attack wasn't just an act of terror, it was a message. While the world waited for a dramatic response, Traoré's administration remained unusually silent. But this silence was strategic. Confidential sources close to the transitional government revealed that high-level communications were underway with Moscow.
Putin has gone ahead and said he will do anything for Burkina Faso to ensure it's safe and free from the terrorists. He will send any weapon that they will need, and he is ready even to release his private jets that will be surveying Burkina Faso, most especially the northern part, to ensure that the terrorists are not there.
Burkina Faso had already cut military ties with France and withdrawn from ECOWAS. Now the country was looking east, not just for weapons, but for warriors. Russia responded swiftly, not with bureaucracy, but with boots. Elite special forces, hardened in Syria, trained in anti-insurgency operations, and fiercely loyal to the Kremlin. On a moonless night, under tight security, 2 Russian military transport planes touched down at a discreet military airfield near Ouagadougou. Disembarking were not ordinary troops, but Spetsnaz commandos, Russia's most elite special operations unit. Clad in unmarked uniforms, equipped with cutting-edge tech, and fluent in desert warfare, they were the tip of Russia's spear. Their mission? Not just to protect Captain Traoré, but to establish a forward operating presence capable of deterring future attacks, assisting in military operations, and training Burkinabe forces in unconventional warfare. The news sent shockwaves across Western capitals. Paris issued a strongly worded statement calling the Russian deployment destabilizing. Washington warned of foreign meddling. But the African youth had a different response. In Ouagadougou, crowds flooded the streets, waving Burkinabe and Russian flags. Chants of "Vive Traoré, Vive Putin" echoed through the capital. Western media outlets tried to frame the narrative as Russian manipulation. But on the ground, the message was clear. Burkina Faso is done with empty partnerships. For decades, foreign aid came with strings. Now protection is coming with purpose. With Russian commandos now embedded with Burkinabe troops, a new counter-terror strategy was launched, Operation Iron Wall. The plan was multi-pronged: secure the northern corridors, root out terrorist camps, disrupt supply chains, and most importantly, prevent foreign-backed sabotage. Russian advisors brought drone surveillance systems with infrared capabilities. They helped establish early warning systems in rural villages. They trained local militias in defensive warfare and urban combat. In just a week, Burkina Faso recorded a 40% drop in insurgent attacks. For the first time in years, hope returned to regions once dominated by fear. What happened in Burkina Faso is no longer isolated. It is part of a sweeping shift across the African continent. Mali, Niger, Guinea, all rejecting Western hegemony and building military and economic ties with non-NATO powers. The African Renaissance isn't just cultural or economic. It is strategic. Traoré's call for a Pan-African Defence Pact is gaining momentum. The idea: African nations forming a mutual defence union, equipped with their own intelligence networks, training academies, and manufacturing hubs. Russia's support is only the beginning. Talks with Iran, Turkey, and China are underway. The continent once seen as a pawn is now becoming a player, and at the heart of it stands Captain Ibrahim Traoré, young, bold, and unshakably committed to sovereignty. In the face of terror, some leaders hide, others negotiate, but a few, like Captain Ibrahim Traoré, rise. The arrival of Russian commandos in Burkina Faso marks not just a tactical shift, but a symbolic one. It tells the world Africa will defend itself. It will choose its own allies. And it will rise, not as a proxy, but as a power. The days of foreign puppeteering are over. A new chapter is being written, and Burkina Faso is holding the pen. If this story inspired you, like, share,